Hey y'all! Welcome. It is cold in Richmond, Virginia. I think the wind chill said something like 23 degrees, and allegedly it was supposed to snow, but it's only raining here. So that excuse that you wanted to have to work from home today because of the snow, even though you're working from home, yeah, that's not gonna work. So I am most certainly in the mood for a nice hot soup. Now, if you know me and you follow me on my Instagram at Sierra_P, you know that I love things with a little Asian twist. So with that being said, I will be making some chicken wonton noodle soup. Everyone has a pack of ramen in the house. You can call it a struggle meal, but I like to make it nice and gourmet. And you do not have to make these wontons from scratch. You can certainly use soy broth, which is what your girl will be using today. It's easy. I'm hungry. Let's get into it. Now, first things first, you want to get your base started for your soup. So I am going to be using a low sodium chicken broth. This one happens to be organic. Whatevs. Going to turn this up to a medium heat. I have some already in there, so I'm going to use, depending on your serving. So I'm trying to cook for just one serving because I get sick of having leftovers. So I'm going to use about a half of this container. If you're doing more than one serving, I would say use the full box. And this container is 32 ounces, okay? To that, I am going to add in some water, just because I want to, I don't know where I put my cup measure. But I'm going to add in about 2/3 cups of water. And yes, I know how to measure that. Just because we're going to add a few other things in there, and I want to make sure that this is not too salty, okay? So 2/3 cups of water. Then we have some ginger. I'm just going to cut off the sides of that ginger. A lot of times they'll use a spoon. I have never successfully done it with a spoon, so that is why I never do it with a spoon, okay? And I'm just going to slice this just in half. And I'm gonna pop that right into the pan. Boom. Next up, we have garlic. As you can see here, I have a pretty large piece of garlic. I'm gonna smash it. And I'm gonna pop that, I don't know, she has a little bruise, you know, melanin. Pop that in the pot as well. Then as you'll see, I do have 3 green onions. So I'm gonna cut this in half. And I'm gonna cut it in, not the dice, but I'm gonna cut it in pretty large pieces like so. And I have gone ahead and washed my green onion. I'm gonna pop that into the pot as well. It is really easy. I promise it's a very easy dish. I actually might use another half of this, but closer to the darker, the darker ends and the white portion of this green onion. So just to give you an idea, this is the size that I am using. I'm going to go ahead and pop that into this as well. And we're going to bring this up to a nice boil. Because of course we're going to be cooking the noodles, the wontons, all of that in there. Now have our garlic, our green onion, and our ginger boiling in here. And so we're just going to add a couple additional seasonings to give this that delicious umami flavor. Now, as you all know, we will be using ramen, dried ramen, top ramen, Maruchan ramen, whatever other ramen there is for this recipe. So you have a seasoning pack. Now, we are not trying to give people high blood pressure, diabetes, and any of those things. So we're not going to use all of this. But keep in mind, I use low sodium chicken broth. So I'm trying to limit the amount of salt I put in there. You can even use, fat-free, all of that, or no salt added chicken broth because you want to create your own flavor profile. So I'm going to use probably a third. I'm going to say this is a third, yes. A third of the seasoning pack. If you don't know how much that is, pour it all into a spoon and split it in a third. There you go. That's how you do it. I think I might do a little bit more. Yep. So a third of that seasoning pack. I am using a chicken flavored ramen because I'm doing chicken wontons. If you are doing shrimp wontons or shrimp dumplings, you can certainly use a shrimp flavor. Even if you don't have chicken flavor and you're using chicken wontons and you only have shrimp, then use shrimp. You're only gonna use a little bit of that anyway. So I have also some low sodium soy sauce. I only use low sodium soy sauce. And this is because I don't want to give myself high blood pressure and die. Like, do y'all know how it happens with black people? So I'm gonna pour in about 2 teaspoons. Boom, that's it. Don't go overboard. If you like things saltier, go for it, sis or homie. Go for it. I'm just not gonna, I'd rather try it first and then taste it after. And then last but not least for me, for you all, if you don't like spice, I'm going to add in some sesame oil. This is non-toasted, but toasted sesame oil is actually another great alternative. And I'm going to add in just a teaspoon of this as well. Okay, one other thing that I like some heat. I always enjoy a good amount of heat, and my friends always look at me like I'm crazy, and that's fine. I don't care. So if you like heat, I would recommend getting some spicy chili crisps or some chili oil. You can add sriracha. You can add pretty much any Asian style hot sauce that you like, or you can keep it out completely. I just like to have a little spiciness to this. So this again is optional, and this is what it looks like so you can see. It's basically like chili crisps and oil. It's good. Actually, this might be a better look for you. You see? So I'm gonna add in a blop of that. That's what the measurement is. It's called a blop. A blop of that. No kidding. This is about a tablespoon. And you should already be smelling these delicious aromas. So let's talk about the wontons. So I live by these wontons. This is the chicken cilantro mini wontons from the good old Trader of the Joes. I took these straight from the freezer. I'm not gonna defrost them or anything like that. And you're gonna cook these according to the package. So these with the soup are gonna cook in 1 to 2 minutes. Now we know with ramen takes about 5 minutes. That's right, 5 minutes to cook. So I have here, nothing special, y'all. Nothing special. This is ramen. Say it with me. Ramen. We're gonna throw the ramen in here. You know, you gotta, when you cook internationally, you gotta create an accent. I don't know what accent that is. Flow. If you have the time, take it, cook your broth for about 15 minutes. The longer the broth cooks, you know how it goes. It's gonna taste better. But again, I'm hungry. All right, so I have been cooking my ramen now for maybe a minute or two. So you already see that that's breaking up. Again, this looks incredible. These, again, just so you can see, are the wontons. And I'm gonna go ahead and add in a handful of my wontons. Again, this is a single serving. I'm gonna show you, get you one out of here so you can see. Look how cute they are. So I'm gonna do 6 little baby wontons. The wontons only take about 1 to 2 minutes to cook, so that's why I wanted to go ahead and start cooking my noodles first, because your noodles are typically going to take about 5 minutes or so. Taste your food. Taste your broth. Right now mine has a little bit of oil on that. So taste the broth, because when this is done, right? So I'm gonna taste this a little bit to make sure the flavor profile is what I'm looking for. She is good. All right, this is done. It's looking good. I'm hungry. It's smelling good. Let me go ahead and bowl this up. Let me bowl this up. My friends always laugh at me because I actually do have an Asian bowl. This is what we're gonna do. Oh, voila. That's what we're gonna do. Don't leave a bit of that green onion behind. And I like to add green onion in the beginning while we're cooking in the broth and at the end, just because you wanna cook it into the broth, but it's also delicious to have that additional flavor. So I have another green onion, and I always pull that first layer off of it because I don't know, I wash them, but it's just like it's a thing for me. I'm gonna top this with some more fresh green onion because hashtag green onion is life. I put green onion on everything. You know, like they say, what is the Frank's Red Hot? I put that on everything. I put green onion and red onion on everything. This is the moment that I have been waiting for. Do you see that? Let me taste this broth first. I feel like I low-key think I belong in an Asian restaurant, you know, but whatever. One day. Oh, that's so good. It's spicy now. Like, I like it. These little wontons are so good. Where's my fork? I don't have time for no chopsticks today. These wontons specifically have cilantro in them. So tastes so fresh. Y'all, I'm happy. I don't know about you, but I'm happy. You see that smoke? Y'all enjoy. Enjoy.